So food is really important, and it's going to be definitely one of the industries of the future. Like technology, we're always going to need engineers and people working in that field. Mining, we're almost always going to need that and make new innovations and how to get that stuff on the ground. But food is where you start everything off. So as like just in the last 5 years since I've been here, aquaponics has been taken on by people that I'm teaching, like 180 people just from last year, just from Growing Power, start aquaponics systems for their urban farm or just in their basement growing pot or whatever. I don't know what they're growing exactly, but lots of people are starting to do this method, right? So, and that's just one new thing, and there's whole new fields in permaculture that can be learned about and studied. Growing Power was very interested in renewable energy. They had solar panels, one of the few places that had solar panels up, and I wanted to learn about those, so I started volunteering and haven't touched the solar panels once, unfortunately, but started working with the aquaponics, and that's kind of the next, what I think is going to be the future of agriculture. The aquaponics system that's in there is three-layered. One is a tank, and then there's 2 grow beds. The watercress that's growing in there, we get a weekly harvest out of that. It sells for like $16 a pound or something. That's what it would cost anyways, whether it was local or not. So in a half an acre of aquaponic grow space that we have on this site, we're producing $140,000 of produce in half an acre. The average corn and soybean farmer makes about $350 per acre to about $500, depending on the price of corn and the subsidy for corn. So and they're most likely making a loss. So that's just aquaponics. Then you have the first greenhouse, which has the microgreens. So we're growing sunflowers, sugar snap peas vertically. They don't need light, so we just stack the trays up on top of each other and then move it up the sides. If we harvest and sell everything that is produced just in one greenhouse, with about 900 square feet of foundational space, that's $600,000 a year. And there's the permacultural method that I mentioned before, where you aim for no waste, and then you try to use all the different levels. You get your fruit trees, you've got your raspberry bushes underneath that, you've got your tomato plants and everything. There's whole designs. You just type it into Google, and you can see these amazing setups where people are growing on multi-levels, even using what's underneath the ground. So yeah, and they're making really good money.
Yeah.
And feeding more people in less space. I think we'll find that people will make a very good living in the future. We're going to start to see that with farmers making really good livings off of their farms, and people will start following them into that industry. So it's a good time to learn about it. I've been raised in India. There's a lot of agricultural issues over there that were up in your face every day. So you had farmers, like 1,000 per month. The last month that I was there, committing suicide because of high seed prices, drought, just using the same agricultural techniques for hundreds of years. No innovation in that field for such a long time. And at the same time, as these people are struggling, there's these other farmers who are using new techniques, organic methods, making really good livings. So, so what happened, it was a mixture of things. It was, they were getting seeds from Monsanto. They could only use it once. The cost of it was so high. And along with that, they had been in like a 3-year drought. So they were borrowing money. They had so much debt. There was no real government programs up to that point. So they were just like, one, making a spectacle, kind of like making sure they all did it at the same time so it would be reported, or just they were done with life. It was absolutely depressing. For our market basket, we have a CUA, or CSA market basket. So I always forget. I just call it a market basket, but that is produced here and then sold to people in the community for a reduced price. It's like a $13 value. We subsidize it ourselves to about $9. So people will still buy it. They can buy with their food stamps, and it's accessible to them, but for less. And then there's 5 other food banks for disabled adults, veterans, like homeless veterans, and there's about 5 of them. The River West Co-op, they've got like a little food bank that happens there every week. We donate to them. Through Cisco, we sell to 30 restaurants in town, and then the Milwaukee Public School System, there's a snack pack that they get, so it's like carrots and tomatoes and I think salad mix over the winter and early spring when we don't have carrots. There are huge issues in almost all of our cities with food deserts and people not eating vegetables, the kind of health epidemics that are going on right now because of food-related illnesses, like 200 or more diseases that are linked to food and the way that people eat. So, yeah, if you care for your community, get involved in a farm, support a local farmer, you'll most likely produce more jobs in your community and just grow a healthier society, really.